Is that how you sort of plan to make it more inclusive? Because within cities, a microcosm sort of emerges where gentrification results in kind of the marginalization or people are pushed out of neighborhoods as cities become more vibrant. And I know you all are very mindful of the diversity issue when it comes to startups, of the gender issues when it comes to startups, but also socioeconomically. How are you making sure that everyone in that community is served? Is it primarily through this ripple effect you just described?
It's a bunch of things. You're pretty deliberate in terms of making sure the pitch composition we have a broader face of entrepreneurship. And we also have been pretty successful so far in terms of investing in a more diverse mix of entrepreneurs. About 25% of our investments out of the Rise the Restaurant Fund are women or people of color, which is well above the average for venture.
Can't you get a little better than that?
What's that? We will get better than that. And as you travel around the country, you can help us identify some of the opportunities. But we're seeing progress, and I think it will continue. And in some of these Rise the Rest cities, they will lead the way in terms of a more kind of diverse, inclusive approach to innovation. As it relates to gentrification, we're actually talking to a lot of folks in the real estate world, because many of these communities need investment in essentially real estate infrastructure to support startups, whether it be co-working space or affordable apartments or other kinds of things. And how do we get some of the real estate investors who also tend to focus in a few gateway cities? They all want to own buildings in New York and Washington D.C. and so forth, but there's less investment in these Rise the Rest cities. How do we get some of that kind of real estate kind of capital focused on these areas and help rebuild some of these neighborhoods? I remember when we were in Cincinnati, there's a neighborhood called OTR, Over the Rhine, that a decade ago was one of the 10 worst neighborhoods in the country in terms of murders, and now is the hottest neighborhood in Cincinnati. And the reason is the entrepreneurs moved in. 50 years ago, if you wanted to lift up a community, you got the artists to move in, like Soho in New York. Now the trick, the play is to get the entrepreneurs to move in. So how do you invest in these neighborhoods, create that sense of possibility, create that clustering, build that startup infrastructure, and then that will be helpful to the startups and also generate we think great returns for the real estate investors. So there's a lot of things that need to happen. We kind of like standing up the internet. This is a 10-year plus effort just to kind of put a lot of pieces of the foundation in place to drive this rising phenomenon.